I love when these guys show up, especially when Jonathan shows up. We're talking about how to build our credit. Of course, we need good credit, but we got to figure out how to build credit.
Get it up. Let's go. How do we do it?
Well, we got to talk about schools first, though. Let everybody know about schools.
Oh, good idea.
Okay. Well, so SchoolsFirst proudly serves all school employees throughout California and their families as well. We are deeply committed to the financial security of our members, and I'm really excited to be here today to kind of share some tips about how credit can impact your lives.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to build credit, how we can do that as well.
That's right. And I know we've learned so much during these segments. Really,
I love these segments.
I mean, I feel like we talk about them when we're off air.
I'm a zillionaire now. I don't know if you know that.
All right. Credit and your credit score. I know we want to make sure it's up as high as it can be, as we can possibly get it. What goes into determining our credit score? I don't know if we've ever asked that.
Okay, yeah. So the financial conversation can be a bit of a stressful one sometimes. So I'm here to break it down for you guys.
Okay.
There's about 5 key factors you want to be aware of. There's your payment history. Are you making your payments on time? Then you got your amounts owed on your debt, right? So you want to keep that at a reasonable amount as well. That's like your credit utilization.
Yeah.
Then you look at the length, the credit history length, how long you've been able to hold credit and properly manage and pay those payments. You want to have a mix of credit as well. That's important to have some that's unsecured as well as secured. And then new credit. New credit, anytime you apply for a new loan, that line of credit, that will affect your credit score, and that ties into credit inquiries as well.
Okay.
So, there's other factors that kind of come into play for each individual, but those are the top key factors that everyone should be aware of.
There you go. All right, what is the credit score? What is it needed for? I mean, obviously you want it to, people say, oh, you got a 500, you got a 700, you got an 800. What does all that mean, and why do we need a good credit score?
So your credit score is what most companies look at to determine if and when or how much they're going to lend you when you're inquiring on their products.
Okay.
If you're looking for a mortgage, an auto loan, a credit card, having a good credit score is going to get you the best rate possible. And we're in an environment where rates are going up. So that's really crucial right now to really lessen the burden that you're going to take on.
Got it. Well, for any of our viewers that are, clinging to the television set right now, watching and listening, like, how do I build my credit? Tell me, give me some tips on how I can build up my credit. What do you tell them?
So the main thing you want to do is be aware of your credit card usage. Never spend more that you can't pay off in a reasonable amount of time. Something that a lot of people aren't aware of. They might have a credit card with a $1,000 limit. You want to keep all your limits about 30%. So that means if your limit's $1,000, you don't want to really be charging more than $300 on that, because that can have an adverse effect for you. And then the number one thing, pay your loans on time. Okay, that is 35% of what your credit scores come from, is paying your loans on time.
35%.
35%
of that score.
Yeah, and so the best way to really manage that is to set up some type of automatic payment to your loan.
Yeah.
Set it, forget it, and then you're really setting yourself up for
doing that.
success.
I've got that going on. Yeah. All right, so we do all these things. We make sure we're at 30%. We're staying right on track here. How soon are we going to see results?
So it's important to be patient.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there's no quick fixes to raising your credit score. If you're new to establishing credit, it's going to take some time to get to that top score level. But if you're new to credit, getting a credit card, just make a few small purchases, pay it off in full. That's going to be the quickest route to kind of getting your credit score created.
Nice.
If you already have some debt that's on there, it's maybe higher than that 30% ratio we're talking about, rein in your spending a little bit, and then start applying their payments to pay down the card that has the highest interest rate first. That is really going to maximize your money and get your credit going.
Start there and work down. All right, those high APRs.
Can we call the credit card companies and ask if they lower those APRs for us? Because we've been there for a while. Could they do that, or would they do that?
I have heard of organizations that do that. I wouldn't say that every place does it, but it's worth having a conversation about. If they're willing to do it, take advantage.
Well, it goes back to you being just aware, right? Aware of your credit, where you're at, what your payments are, and taking advantage. Look at you. Will you join it?
How about that, huh? See? I told you, I'm learning. When I was here, I didn't even know what a credit card was. They show up now. I got a credit card.
You knew what it was. We'll put up a lot of information about SchoolsFirst. Thanks again for coming in, Jonathan. Always great to have you. They got the 70 locations and more throughout California. SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union.